Hi everybody, welcome back to my craft room. I am here to update you. This is my floss tube number 2. My name is Liz. I live in northern Kentucky and with my husband Keith, and we have our stepson with us every couple weeks. And I have a little dog, Watson, who is not here right now. He got bored of sitting here by my feet, so he got up and went probably to lay down somewhere. He likes to lay in Keith's chair when Keith's not there, so he's somewhere in the living room, I'm sure. So anyway, I'm here to update you with what I'm working on now. Excuse me. I have some new starts. I don't have very many finishes. So I did finish 2 things, but they're at the framers. So when I get those back, I will show them to you. This first one I've got going is Fox and Rabbit's Cloister Garden. It is their yearly stitch along where they release a pattern once a month that adds on, that adds on, that adds on. So I've been working on this since January, and actually I haven't been working on it since January. I didn't start it until April. I didn't get back into stitching until March, and then I tried to figure out what I was going to do and getting back into stitching, and it was a whole new world because I did not even know FLOSSTUBE existed. And so I ran into this pattern through something on social media, and I loved it. So I went and started printing it. All the patterns are free. They do one of these free patterns a year where they release and release and release, so that builds on the prior month's pattern. And I decided this was one I was definitely going to keep up with, and I'm just slightly behind right now. But this past release on August 1st was for August and September, so I'm not really behind. I just haven't done half of the work for August yet. I'm getting close. So I am going to be working on this probably over the next week or 2, and I want to get September completely caught up, so when October 1st comes out, which is my birthday, I will download the new pattern and keep going. I am using silk threads in from, I don't have my card with me. I remember the color is Warlock Road, and it's from the Thread Gatherer. So they're the Thread Gatherer's silk thread called Warlock Road. And this is the pattern. It is a variegated gray, blue, purple, green. And this was these 4 sides of this like flower motif, big flower motif, was the August and September. You have to do 4 of these, 1 on each corner. And I've done the top one, and I'm working on this side over here. So I will be happy when I can get these done. These are taking a lot of time, although I love working with the silk thread. It was my first time ever using silk thread, and I am really enjoying it. I just love the way it feels, and I love the way it doesn't knot like cotton thread. Especially, it seems like the overdyed threads knot worse than they do, but maybe that's my imagination and I'm just not doing something. I have now started using some excuse me, my needles dropped. Some floss, for what, I don't know, the stuff that comes in the little tub to make your floss go better. Try to pick up like 3 of these at a time so I'm not constantly going in and out of frame. My next pattern I'm working on is Love Your Family. And it is by Teresa Kogut, and it is in the book Let Love Reign, and it's this pattern here. And I am doing this on the 28 count Lagana in just a sand, actually it's not Lagana, It is a 27 count even weed by Bead Stitched Me in the color Sand Dollar. And this was a new start for me since my last video. And I love the pattern, and I know everyone's doing Let Love Rain, but I actually like this pattern better. And so I will show you where I'm at. I've got the house done. I've got the bird and the branches done on top. And I'm just trying to slog away at this thing. The next thing I'll be starting on is the sidewalk that goes over into the grassy hill with the words, if you want to change the world, go home and love your family. I think is what it says, or something like that. And I think those are good words to live by. I have about 10 kits kitted up that I have not started yet, so I'm trying not to get more than about a dozen WIPs going at a time, because then I start to feel overwhelmed, and then I start to feel guilty that I haven't worked on them. My next is another stitch along, and that's also something I'm going to limit myself to, are stitch alongs, because I'm doing these two, and then I've got a couple going with some girls I met at StitchCon. And those are smaller, and I know when I get to them, I will get them done, but I just haven't yet. This I am doing is another stitch along by Tiny Modernist, and it's called Birthstones and Flowers, and it's through their Patreon. And every quarter she releases, she started with January, February, March, and April, May, June. And I am working on July, August, and September, and I am pretty caught up. I have a little bit left to do on the August one, which I have a couple days to do, but I will probably not get this done until September. And once I start on, I really expect to just finish the rest of the August and September one. This is where I'm at. The colors in this thing are beautiful, and there's a lot of back stitching. So if you don't like the back stitch, I don't know if you would love this pattern, but it does really bring out all the details of the gems and the flowers. So I'm working on August there, as you can see. And I've got a special place in my bedroom for this one. It is finished. And I am doing this on an antique white 28 count Lugana. And it was actually fabric I had on hand from back in the day when I stitched, and I just hadn't got around to it. This next one is a new start. It was a kit that I bought from eBay from Nemu. And I don't know what the name of the pattern is because I don't speak French, but there it is. And it reminded me of Cinderella's Pumpkin after it turned back into the mice, and the coachman turned back into the little elf. And I don't know if it did in the movie what he turned back into. I think it might have been a mice leading the coach too. I'm not sure. But anyway, I just thought it was really kind of cool. There's a whole ton of these, like in a series of these elves with this designer. I am doing this on 32 count natural linen, which came with the kit. And I am using the kit threads, which are DMC. And it took me a whole night just to separate out all the threads and figure out which thread was in which number, which I ended up putting them in floss bags. And there are a ton of them. They're just, and the threads they were very hard to discern. And thankfully they give you kind of a good guide. And then I have one of those thread booklets from DMC that I bought years and years ago that have the actual thread color there. And so I was able to sit under a bright light and figure these out, because some of them are just a hair apart, and like these two, like I just didn't know. I mean, those two sitting side by side at night, in front of a lamp are very hard to figure out. But, and then you've got this one thrown in there. I mean, they are very close. So it took me a while to do that. But here I am. Let me make sure I got the right side up. Got the center of the pumpkin done. And I'm really happy with how this is turning out. I won't get this done by October. There's no way. Hopefully by next October, though, I'll make a good project on it. Pick up the rest of these so I don't have to do any more bending over. My next one is called No More. And it's in my Ruth Bader Ginsburg project bag, which I love. And the project bag is done by Lynn X Creates on Etsy. And I think that's what it is. Lynn X Stitches Creates. And I am doing this on a 32 count X Jude in the color Marbled Bunny. And the last time I showed you, here's the pattern. And the last time I showed you, the only thing I had done were these two little crowns. I just started this. So now, I think that's where I was. I'm trying to do this from memory. I have this much. Yep, wrong side. This much done. So I'm getting there. I really love this pattern, and kind of helps keep me sane from where I am in everything that's going on in this country right now. And don't get me started, because I'm aggravated. My next WIP that I'm working on is caught up in the zipper. Is from Al Forrest Embroidery, and I am working on an antique white even weave on this. I think it's 28 count. And it's from Al Forrest Embroidery, and it is the Turtle Quaker. And I love this pattern. And I am doing this for my niece who, she's 10, and she loves sea turtles. That's her favorite animal. We just got back from Mexico, and she was able to volunteer at a sea turtle rescue, and where she was able to help dig up the nests of sea turtles, and the sea turtles that can dig themselves out, that they had already gone, but they have so much time where they can dig out, and they can usually rescue a few more baby turtles that don't have the strength to make it out of the nest, because the nests are super deep. They're like 4 feet deep, which I did not know they were that deep. But anyway, she pulled out little baby turtles that were about the size of a quarter. They were adorable. She loved it. She had so much fun and couldn't stop still talking about it. So I am doing this pattern for her, and I am there. Now I am changing up this pattern a little bit in different places to spell her name. So I changed the center of this turtle, and I put the H there for the Harper, and I'm going to put the ARPER in other turtles around the pattern to make this hers. I can't wait to be able to show her this, but it takes some time. Those two little Quaker turtles, and this is pattern for. I am doing the called for threads, which I ordered from Al Forrest Embroidery, and they took a long time to come, I will tell you that. And this was before all the tariff stuff even. But they are in the most beautiful shades of blues and greens. I'll show them to you in my project bag. And try to get the glare off, but you can see they're beautiful. This project bag is from Greg Puff Creations. Greypuff Creations off Etsy. I just love the lavender flowers. My next WIP is in a project bag here that I had. I originally thought I was going to stitch on this every Sunday until I got it done. And the project bag is from She So Sassy, S-C-W. She So Sassy in Minnesota and off of Etsy. And she did this as a custom bag for me. I was watching her video and of her WIPs and everything, and she pulled out this project bag that said Sunday Stitch, and I thought that would be a great idea to just have one project you can only do on Sundays. And it is a great idea, except I don't always work on this on Sundays. Sorry, I just dropped my patterns. And but I am doing on Sundays, some Sundays, Freak the Beak by Boomerang Stitches. Amity did a great job with this pattern, and I love it. It's so funky and cute. The colors, I wanted a little bit more variegation in the colors, so I did a conversion. Stephanie helped me at Keepsakes, which is my local needlework shop in Cincinnati, Ohio. I just ordered what my husband would call a shit ton of patterns from the new releases that just came out, and I'm waiting for a couple to come in still, so they're going to call me when they come in, and I'm going to make a run up there and maybe kit a couple of them up. But they are so helpful up there. Anyway, this was the conversion she helped me with. There's one Classic Colorworks, and the rest of them are Weeks Dye Works. Take a screenshot of that if you want. I am doing this on 28 count Lagana from Atomic Ranch in the color Lavender Haze. And this pattern, these colors really go well. This pattern is so pale lavender, you can't really even tell unless you stick it right next to a piece of white. But it actually shows up more lavender on the camera here than it does in person. But this is where I'm at. I think that last time I showed it to you, I had this first done, this bird done, and maybe part of this bird, but then I've done the rest so far. This is going to be huge when it's done. But such a cute pattern. Amity does a great job on her patterns. She's got a ton of really super cute patterns. You ought to check her out if you don't know about her. The next one I am working on is called My Christmas List by Silver Creek Samplers. The last time I showed you this, I think I had that top row done with the car, and I had part of the turkey row done. So I've come quite a ways on this. I think I'll be doing these videos every couple months, and that kind of, you actually get to see some progress. I'm also, behind me, I have a messy desk back there. You can see I'm working on a scrapbook also. I do a lot of scrapbooking and card making. But this is where I am at on this pattern now. So I'm down to the mistletoe line, which is about... the mistletoe line starts like the second third of the pattern. So I've got like the third of it done. I'm not one that puts things in a computer program to stitch. I still stitch from paper patterns, kind of old-fashioned, and I'm not opposed to doing it and knowing, but I don't really care like that I'm 37% done with a pattern and I've put in 1,200 stitches or something. That I don't care. What I care about is what if I get them done. Harper's stocking. I showed this to you before the last time, and I have made zero progress on this. I don't even think I've pulled it out. And I'll show you where I'm at. I've got Santa's coat done and his hand. And the little cat down below. I've got that one. I don't think I'm done with it. This actually has a lot of blank space in it because I'm not filling it in with white where it's not where it's white, like the whole cat's face. I just did the outline and some half stitches down there to point her out. I'm not filling that all in with white. It doesn't call to fill it in with all white. It's a dimensions pattern, and I haven't decided if I'm going to UFO this pattern. If I do, I may give it away to one of you if you want it and see if you want to finish it. In fact, if you think that you might want this, comment below. And I'm going to start a different pattern for her because I've got 10 other stocking patterns that I think would fit her personality better than this one. And I'm just not thrilled with this. It's nothing to do with the pattern itself. It's a cute pattern. It just doesn't fit her personality, and I'd rather do something that actually fits her personality. My next project bag that I got is from PT Bags, and I just love the vintage quality of this. It's a super nice pattern, but I just love the retro prints and all the colors. The back of it is like a bunch of different ribbons and printed on. And it reminded me of my Barbie dolls when I was a kid that I had and still have up in the top of the closet. I don't know if they're worth anything or not. This is a new start. This is Tiny Modernist. This is a 6-part snow globe series. This is part 1. I've signed up to get the kits shipped to me automatically, all kitted up. And they did send me all of the threads and the fabric. And this is the threads for all of them. So I'm keeping them together. And I have started the penguin. I don't know if the new kits of the next series has come out. I think it's once a month they're going to come out, but maybe once every couple of months. I don't know. I didn't pay attention to that part of it, but I thought it was cute, so I'm going to do those and maybe try to do them all in a row on a board or something on my table. The last thing, I've got 2 more. My Charlie Harper pattern. This is for my husband. This is another cardinal pattern, which he is famous for his cardinals. And I am doing this pattern here. And this was book number 13. And this is the whole cover. I bought this on eBay. These have been out of print for a long, long time. This is the original art was done in 1976. Needlework adaptation was done in 1978. I think it's in Roman numerals. I think it was 78. I'm pretty close to being done on this. I need to do a lot of the black back stitching. If you look at the pattern, it has all this back stitching for those like branches, those corn stalks and leaves and things. And so that's all I've got left. And I think if I actually sat down and did it for probably 2 nights, I could get it all done or close to it. That back stitching, sometimes it goes fast and sometimes it doesn't. There's a lot of counting in that, so I would hope I could get it done in a couple of nights, like 4-hour stretches, but I have not tried to do that yet. Hopefully. So my one and only finish, and then I'll show you my big project, is this. I picked up this fabric. I have no idea what it is. It's an Aida. I don't know who hand dyed it, and I don't know where it came from. It was on the freebie table at StitchCon. So I picked up the fabric. It was about the size of a sheet of paper, and I have this pattern that I stitched and got it finished. This was actually part of a book, which would fold over to make a needle thing, but I didn't want a Halloween needle minder. I just thought the pattern, this part of the pattern was cuter than the other. So I did this, and I picked out my own colors. I don't know what the pattern calls for, but I felt like the red that they'd picked out for the tomato pincushion was very, very pinkish, and I didn't like it. So I wanted it to be more realistic. And I think that might have something to do with the fabric also, because their fabric was done on something else. But and my scissors and my needles and my thimble and my pins, I used Krynic, a Krynic blend with a silver colored light gray floss to do that, so it's shiny, and I really liked it. You can't see the bird's eyes. I did the bird's eyes in green, but you have to get really close to be able to see that. It shows up much better in person. But really happy with that little finish. It's finished, but it's not totally finished. My last thing I showed you was my Welsh Dragon sampler. I am doing this on a 28 count Lugana in like an antique white color. This is like a tan color in the picture, and they showed it in 3 different versions. They showed it in a white, stark white, this tan, and they showed it done on black, which I'd never be able to do because I can't stitch on black. But anyway, if you look at the patterns, there's a lot of like edging, like all the way around. There's like 5 borders. There's 3 and then, or 4 right there, and then these added ones around. So I'm working on these 4 borders. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I'm working on these 4 borders. And right now I have all of the red Greek key border done, finally. And I'm working on this double green border, and then on this side of that is this single green border. And then I'll start back in on the red. So, but I'm doing both of the green borders at once. So I'm working all the way around the Greek border. And this thing is enormous, and I will back up to show you. But I'll show you the green border and how it looks like close up. And then this is how big it is going to be. So this takes me, I worked on this all day at a stitch retreat in the summer, put on by Keepsakes, their summer stitch. And then I worked on it probably 3 or 4 nights. And I'm still not done with the 2 green borders. But I wasn't done with the red border when I got to the retreat, and I worked on it all day long. And then I started the green border once I got back. I think I got the red border done that day, if I remember. And then I've started on this green border, the 2 green borders. And so I'm working on it. It's going to get there eventually. I can't wait till I actually get to start stitching the letters. It's going to feel like I'm halfway done by the time I get to that point. So anyway, guys, that's my current progress on my WIPS and my new starts. I have 2 pieces at the framers that I will show you that were in my first video that I've gotten done. And so I will see you in a couple months. Enjoy.